How do folks, David here with another video, and it's going to be a different kind of video again this time. I'm making a habit of that. I am chuffed to bits because at the moment I actually have a week's holiday. The wife is away, kids are at school, I've got the place to myself, which means I can actually crack on and get some stuff done. Now you'll have seen in the last video that I was completely gutting and reorganising the games room, and it's far better than it was. It's still a work in progress. As you can see, the new shelves are up and I'm starting to get things organised. But as I've been going through, I've been noticing, you know, half-painted miniatures, projects that I started but never quite completed, old stuff that's in need of repair. So I've set myself a challenge. Because I took so much time out of crafting to reorganise everything, I really need to get a hit of just enjoyment and getting stuff made. So what I am going to do over the course of this week is try and get as many of those little projects out of the way as I possibly can. So this isn't going to be a video where I tackle one particular item and then show you all the different steps start to finish through to the completed product. It's going to be far more bulk. There's going to be little things and I'll show you the before and maybe it's in the middle and then the after, and we'll just churn through them and we'll see just how much of a pile I can get off the pile of shame by the end of the week. Right, what is our first cab off the rank, so to speak? Okay. Let's get these ones out because those wood elves need rebasing. And when I've got the flocking out, let's grab these ones because they need a bit of a touch-up. You're possibly wondering why I'm rebasing these. Let's just get them all out of the box. These were, for the most part, miniatures that were actually gifted to me, and while yeah, for a tabletop game of back in the early 90s, this kind of basing would have been perfectly acceptable, it doesn't quite cut the mustard by today's standards, and it's not the way that I would normally base miniatures, so we may as well get them all up to par. So basically what I'm going to do on all of them, and this is just using a big brush, is just go around the edges with black, and then I'm going to dry brush it with grey and then reflock the tops because that's the way all my miniatures are. Painting's all done. I've made up a big dish here of PVA mixed with soapy water, and I've made it a large dish because I've got all of that terrain to do as well. Right, so that's that block done. One task completed, let's crack on with the hills. Well, there's a far bigger pile of hills there than I was expecting, I'll be perfectly honest. And yeah, some that I haven't even finished. Alright, I can tell I'm going to have to do these in batches, so I'll sort them out and deal with these logically. Okay, I have removed all the ones that basically just needed a refresh on the flock. These three bits need a bit of extra work. As you can see, over the years they've had some chunks knocked out of it, and this one was halfway done, so still needs some painting done before we can get to the flocking. Right, what am I going to do with this? Alright, that looks like landslip, so I've got some coarse material there. Let's get me PVA. Make sure I get absolutely in all the areas there, and I'm not too worried about that sort of bobbly stuff because it's gonna get covered over right now. Right, just to catch it up, I've grabbed some reclaimed clear plastic packaging. I'm using plastic because one, it's nice and thin, but two, it will also take a little bit of a knock, you know, during gameplay and things like that. Paper or card might not necessarily. I've roughed up one side, that's on the underside, so that it will adhere, and I've stuck it in place. What I'm going to do then is turn it over, add some of this basing material to it as well, so it basically just like looks like it, you know, had a landslip. So that's got to dry. I'll get on with other stuff. Right, I had a request from the guy who's going to be running the next part of our D&D adventure, and that was that he needed lots of undead. So while I've got stuff busy drying, I want to maximise my time, and here is a reasonable amount of dwarves and undead that need to be sorted out, so I can be yeah, getting these up the sprues and getting them assembled. Right, I've got the rock and dirt on those sort of collapsed bits, and I am going to use, just to touch the paint up on this one, this is some brown, just desaturated with some grey, just to get rid of those nasty white bits. And I'll be using this same colour to go over the dirt on those ones. Okay, I've got the touch-ups done on those big bits. I've swapped to a larger brush here, and I'm just going to slather these pieces with that PVA mix and get them flocked. And like I say, because there's that many, I'm going to have to do it in batches. Just make sure I get it right to the edge there. And because there's already cover underneath, I'm not too bothered if I miss the odd little patch. One down, many more to go. Right, I'm going to knock it on the head for filming on day one. I did get bogged down on those hills. It took an awful lot longer than I imagined, but I've still managed to get, at this stage, 18 completely refurbished, plus running repairs on 2 of the larger ones. I've only got the 4 large ones to complete, and I'll get those done, you know, overnight. Plus I've got the 19, I think it was, High Elves rebased. So that's not bad. I am going to take a break and do something a little bit different. I'll get something to eat, I'll watch some TV, I'll get those undead cut out, based, things like that. So we'll pick it up again tomorrow and see how I've done. Right, day 2, and it was a little bit of a late start. I had other stuff to do. The undead didn't get completed last night, so I'll carry on with them. Basically, yeah, there was just too much of them to do, and it took a little bit too long. However, today is going to be a painting day, so I will get these Batman miniatures done, or as many of them as I can. There's a few touch-ups to do. You can see that the undercoat didn't quite catch on the black ones, so I'll have to do a quick touch-up on those. I'll do all of the bases on them, get that a nice dark grey, and then give it a highlight with light grey, and then it's actually onto the miniatures. I'm going to go for the black undercoated ones first. The colour scheme is very similar, and the painting style should be very similar. The palettes are pretty much the same. And I know what I'm doing from having done the police officers on the Terminator challenge last year. I'll leave a link up top, up there, to that one, if you want to click on that and see how I actually go through and painted those. Otherwise, yeah, we'll see how we go.